Alright, just want to go through what we established yesterday and what we came up with yesterday. After you went offline, Shmears, and yeah, we just checked out a few things more, and we had a few more ideas before we started mid-playing too, so let's see what that all does. First of all, here in the beginning, pulling ambience and killing them before dropping, of course. As soon as we drop down, that first step, the pacing starts, as you can see in the top right, the top left corner. It's already on almost nothing. Okay. Well, the plan was to either hold here for the first horde, or go back there. I think we can hold here if we want to have a shorter way, basically, to continue. But also the safe way would be to go back here and just hold that area. And I think we still have the time to push over here, so I'd suggest we do so and just hold here. Then continue along the way to the right here, because when we stay close to that wall here, we can trigger all the patrols and monsters and just everything that might trigger in the right corner, if that card is obviously not there. Like, if that area is open here and this one is closed, we can trigger the patrol by going here. Apparently, I don't know if that's a fact or if it's just that we are getting lucky or unlucky, however you want to put it. But always, every time this path below the bridge is opened, we get a patrol, and every time the path over this small river there is opened, we get a boss. So I'm not sure if Onslaught is doing something there or whatever. Doesn't really matter, just we go here, check the patrol, we can trigger them all from here because your over level progress skips upstairs to the bridge. This won't be an issue for any respawn points, by the way, so just do whatever, really. Okay, so our next hold spot then, or the next point, was to trigger the patrol there. If there's a patrol, we won't get caught where we are, and we hold here. So on this small rock formation, they will all come from the front here. I mean, a few of them will maybe climb up back there, but it's like, it's a minor few. So we will have an easy time just staying here and holding them. Then as soon as the horde is gone, we can push in here, because as you can see, as long as we stay out of here, there's not going to be a problem. As soon as we push in, there's either going to be these patrols that never spawn, or there's one boss spawn here and there's another boss trigger that's all the way up the ramp. So we might want to push a little bit quicker than usual there. Oh, there he is. So again, boss and not a patrol. I don't know what's going on with this. Alright, if we have a boss there, lodging him here at the house would be cool, but it's dangerous and hard, so I would just go back all the way and like whatever boss it is, it really doesn't matter, because we can just, it might be a little bit too far back maybe, but it's definitely the safest approach. Just going back all the way back here, basically to our first hold spot, and ledging him here. It's super safe to ledge any boss here. It's a very flat and even ledge. You can ledge them there, and even if you don't ledge him all straight away because you fuck up or you don't have any ledging power at the moment, you can just easily have one person kiting them around this rock or something, just in the back area here, and have the rest fight off the horde in that area here. So that's pretty easy to do. So I would suggest we always go back there and either ledge him or we, yeah, kill him. Whatever is the best way to do it at the moment. After that we can push up all the way up to the ramp here, which is a good fighting spot in general. Also I should add that if we get a patrol in whatever circumstances they may spawn, We can just hide back here. That's no problem. I mean, you probably know that already, but there you go. Then there's the ramp, which is good to fight here, just generally in this small choke point. On the right here, I'm not sure if it's always the case, but I'm pretty sure that this spawn here is always either a ammo sack or an ammo box. So that's pretty good to know. Also, the respawn points, they are a little bit different depending on what area is opened. But whatever you do, as long as you stay on the ramp here, you get the first respawn point, which is going to be at the cart. Or if the right area, the area below the bridge and on the other side is opened, the respawn point is going to be up here. So about here where I am right now. So as long as we stay basically in that corner or before this point, we won't have any issues getting the first respawn point, which is still very far away, but it's the first. So we won't have any issues with this. The exception being if we stay very, very close to the wall, for example, when we trigger the area, or if we are like below here or something, maybe the respawn, the level progress might swap to upstairs, and then therefore we'll skip the first respawn. But I mean, as long as we stay in the lower area or in that corner back there, it's gonna be fine. Alright, in this case, the left area is opened, so we just push up to the drop down here, and I mean, we can hold at the drop down for a little bit, but I think we can't hold there forever. It's just a little bit much, I reckon. So we would just drop down then and hold about here. I think that's a good place. They will come from the front and they will come from the drop down there, but I don't think there will be too much coming from behind. And if they are jumping over here, as Johnny said, like we can just push them over, or I mean kill them quickly as they are staggered when jumping. So that's going to be a good one too. If the other path is opened, basically up to the cart, we might proceed in a little bit different way, and that will be if we are here, we just go ahead and pull everything that we can see from the ambience, track back before that broken cart where it is right now. What the fuck? Okay, pull back to here and kill them. If they are too many, so if there's too much ambience, we can track back to our hold spot here. But if it's doable, then we can just fire them here on the stairs, and after we finish them, we can just proceed to the upper spot up here, ideally, and just that would be our next hold spot. Maybe we don't have enough time for that though. I mean, it's possible. It would be annoying, but maybe it happens, or we get caught off by, I don't know, a little bit more ambience that we anticipated. So, in this case, we could theoretically hold here on the left wall somewhere. I think that was the place. Yeah, there's a lot of blood splitters down here. That's probably the place. I mean, it's fine for the most part. They shouldn't drop down from the wall, and we are on a wall and can't see most of the area. But of course, like, if we can push and have the time, we should push. And if we can drop back to the last safe hold spot, that's probably a better choice as well. But yeah, it's doable. Okay, then at the cart up here, we, as soon as we finished off that horde, can just push ahead because our trigger is done. The respawns are down here or down here. It's all very close together, but just generally, if you stay on that lower area, you're fine before the ramp, or as I said before, that point here at the corner, basically. There's I think a little bit before the chest around here is the respawn point, the first one. So that's fine, both of that. Then the next hold spot would be like either the cart, and then we just push up to the drop down. So you can see there's more respawn points here along the way through this small hallway. So if someone should go down when we are fighting here at the ledge, we should just go back into the before this small cave, and we should be fine getting a good respawn. But it's all like inferred. The respawns are also not that punishing, so I think there shouldn't be a lot of issues generally speaking. But yeah, for this area here, we've been thinking about two ideas again. First of all, what we did a few times was just pull a little bit of the ambience, finish them off, and then just drop down to the right. I think the ambience, finish them off, is always a safe attempt, of course, but if we want to drop down right, anyways, we don't even have to pull that much of the ambience on top, because we will never encounter them at all. So we could just technically ignore them. But in the case of us getting unlucky and getting a shit ton of elites and whatever shit down there, we might just not want to drop down there, even if it's actually the safest hold spot, I think, in the entire map. So if we don't want to drop down there, we can still hold here and fight off a horde here. It should be safe enough. I'm not sure if they can climb over that one, but they shouldn't, I think. Either way, we can hold them here. It's a very deep place, so you can like fall back a little bit if necessary. And yeah, gas shouldn't be a big of an issue either. When dropping down to the right, we can also just scoop along the wall to get to our spot, and that's something we found out when testing it, is that when we fought the horde here earlier, we fought here, which is not bad, but way better is just staying down here. Sure, you're very, very close to the wall, and there's not much you can go, not a lot of space where you can go, but they, for whatever reason, can't drop down this rock. So they will all go through this very, very narrow path, whatever, and they will just cram together there and not drop over the stone. So you just have so much space to work with, and you could technically even push them off in the water there. So that shouldn't be a big deal either. So we were pretty fucking safe back here. The only issue is gas and Blightstormers, of course. I think even Blightstormers can be dealt with. Gas would be a little bit of an issue, but either way, it's very safe to say that this is a good spot. After holding there, we drop down into the cave, or if you hold up here, we would, of course, drop down here. Oh, also, another thing that I should probably mention is if we have someone down that got respawned here, we will definitely have to pull all the ambience and then either drop down or, on the right or on the left, depending on what you want to do. Yeah, here we just drop down. You can see the respawn point is there. But again, all these are not really any issue. You can just proceed whenever really. There's not too much of backtracking involved anywhere. Yeah, dropping down here, obviously going down in the cave here is the best hold spot for that area. Or from the other side, you just drop down here. We can safely hold here, I think. If we have a sister, which we probably do, I can just stagger them here, push them over to the wall. Huntsman can stay here and just shoot in. Front line is going to be roughly here, but just don't go out too far, because, regrets and such here. You know the deal. Then, by the way, you can go back up there. I don't know why, but you can. We don't really need to, but it's a thing. Now it gets a little bit interesting. So the next trigger is all in this entire area. So up until now, from the drop down up there, we don't have to fear anything. So all the triggers are pretty generous here. As long as we stay before this corner here, you can see it pretty much where the gunner spawned here. There's a respawn point, a boss spawn, and I think 1 or 2 boss trigger. No, it's a boss spawn, a patrol, and a respawn point. This respawn point also contains all 3 of them, all three of the respawns. So if someone is down there when fighting the patrol or boss or whatever, we absolutely have to go back before this corner here. Like, otherwise we will get a shit respawn. So this is actually crucial, but yeah. So, okay, as soon as we fall off the horde, we can just push up. We don't even have to push very far. It's just it's a quick sprint up until here. So, pretty much to this rock. And then we can just, then we triggered all of them. In this case, we will probably have a patrol that just spawns somewhere. I don't know. The patrol can be easily avoided either on the wall there or back in our little cave. I enjoy the cave a lot more, so I would just suggest we go back into the cave. If there's absolutely no ambience and we just have the patrol, we might also just proceed and scoop along the wall, past the patrol. If we have a boss, we can obviously ledge it. I think here is a good ledge space where you can do it. So yeah, it's pretty easy to do. And yeah, after that we can just continue really. We could still hold here if necessary as another hold spot. Kind of scoop around this wall and hold at this small ledge here, but it's not really necessary in any case for. I think so. Back the cave, this wall scoop, and here are our preferred hold spots here. This wall scoop not really being the best case of all of them, so I would rather hold here on the cave. And yeah, after that we will just proceed over here, and in this case we have the right path. The right path is a lot more common, I feel like, than the left one. The left one is very weird, so if we have to fight there, it's a little bit hard to fight on this edge here. So yeah, the problem is when we played it, we also, after dropping down, immediately had a boss spawn, so that was also not very cool. I guess if we have the left path, we want to just fight the horde over the other side of the river and then just rush over it as fast as we can and get the boss trigger or whatever it is. Because fighting on this edge is not cool. Okay, but in this case we have the right path. You can see there's a few respawn points, nothing crazy really. So if someone's down, you go back, blah blah blah. Here, on the other hand, you can fight very easily on the edge, and you can also drop down, because there's really nothing in the beginning of aside from triggers. So you can just drop down, you're fine. This is the start of the third trigger, by the way, but there's nothing really here. So you can safely proceed all the way, I think, up until here is more or less border. So in this entire drop-down area, you're fine. Then the boss spawns start, so that's 2 boss spawns and 1 trigger. Yeah, well, this trigger is a little bit more. We will have to take our time with this a little bit more than we usually we have to for the other triggers. So yeah, that's not. We will probably don't do this in just one rush. So we have a horde, maybe on the ledge or maybe down there. That's fine. Then we can proceed up until like maybe here or something. Okay, that's the boss. We can ledge him, and then we can just go back and hold. In this path, I think is the best case where we hold here. We can hold in this area here. That's also pretty safe. We can watch in both directions. We can wall off one if we have a wall or something. So we can pretty much do everything. Otherwise, we could also hold here. That's a little bit of a gas issue, but generally speaking, it's not a bad spot because they're all coming from the front, and I think nothing is dropping down back there either. The The ledge here is very generous too, so we can just ledge him. I would just ledge all bosses if you can, because it's so easy to ledge every single boss here, so there's no need to kill them, honestly. I mean, sure, we can still kill trolls or something, but the other bosses I would also always ledge. There's no need to. The respawn point is here for this area. That might be a little bit interesting sometimes if someone goes down while it's fighting a boss or something. So just stay in that first part of the area, basically at the hold spot, and we will be fine. So there's nothing we have to change position when we have boss. Have someone down or something. We can always stay in our dedicated hold spots, but we might, when being mid-push or something, want to stay back for a little while longer. So, the boss triggers go up until here. Wait, up until here, actually. So that's what I meant with we won't get it in one rush. It's a pretty long path. We might get it one of the earlier triggers up here, but we might also not. So that means just go up here, go all the way back, and then go ahead and just basically go all the way back. Oop. Go all the way here, which is a little bit annoying, but it's still okay. Besides that, this entire area is very annoying because you can't really see everything that's going on. So I would suggest we get our trigger, fight one more horde, and then just go on the left side. Yeah, left side. Just wall scoop basically here. That's basically, by the way, another ledge that you can keep in mind. It's doable to ledge a boss here. It's just annoying and a little bit harder, but it's doable. Yeah, wall scoop on the left side, all the way to the cave, really. Just run up to the cave. Because in that cave, we can safely kill all the ambience that we might drag with us, and also have a very easy time to kill the horde. So if we drag any ambience with us, we can safely kill them here, dropping them down, or we can just continue and hold in our next hold spot, which is going to be here. So that's a nice spot. I think it's very easy to hold here. You have a clear vision to both sides. They are dropping down there too. Specials can only come from two sides too. And there's usually not too much ambience. I mean, right now there's like, I don't know, 5, 6 Stormvermin, maybe a few more, and a little bit of trash. I think that's we can deal with this if we just drop down and get here. And the former area is just a little bit toxic, so I would just go up here. That's also a very, very good fallback point, fighting off the rest there, so I'd say it's just very safe to say we can just always go back here if we have to. Yeah, the next spot is also just really a rush to the ledge. Not the ledge, to the drop down. Here's a respawn, by the way. I actually forgot about this too. So if we have someone down and want him before the event, we have to go back, I would say, like back in the cave, and this means we're safe. It's pretty hard to get indicators for this map because everything looks the same, but you know what I mean. Like in this small corner, and if we stay before this, if we stay in the cave, it's fine. If you go out, really, it's not fine. So it's also easy to remember. Then we can just continue up to the ledge there. If we get overwhelmed from the amount of enemies that are down there, because will be pulling ambience, of course, we can always go back into this small cave area here where you can see all these blood stains. But I think especially here is very easy to fight. You can just scoop around a little bit and have stuff only coming from more or less one side. But I'm pretty sure we can also just hold the ledge pretty easily. Yeah. Okay. So the pacing is very weird. Sometimes it stops, sometimes it doesn't. I don't really trust it, really, because as soon as you drop down, it should technically stop, but it doesn't, and sometimes it does for a moment, but not long. So as soon as we cleared all this area, we can drop down, of course, clearing it first. Then, as you can see, here are respawn points that are going in the event, inside of the event. So remember, this respawn point down there, that one is the last one for before the event, and I think that's very important to note, because otherwise that person won't get supplies and ammo. Alright, so we move up to the event. There's not gonna be, as you can see, no horde will spawn during this state now for whatever reason. But in 10 seconds, it's just gonna swap, and the horde will spawn anyway. So it's just so random. Yeah. So there won't be a boss in the event, but there will be, yeah, event spawns. So just more spawns in general. So we will have to kite. Yeah, as you can see, there's a horde out of nowhere. It's so weird. Whatever, we get our stuff, we pull all the admins that we can see, we hold here until it's a little bit clearer, and then we drop in. As you can see, there's like 4 waves initially, or 4 hordes, 6 hordes. It's just a lot that's coming right at us that we will have to fight off. I'm not really sure how we start with the beginning, honestly. Now that I think of it, we haven't really thought about it, but in the beginning we'll have to fight off these hordes, of course, that are coming from the front, from the back, from everywhere, right? Because this fort is obviously fallen. So we might just want to push up to the gate. We might also not want to do that. We could start the kite straight away. If I remember correctly, I saw a team do that in the event, so I would just say we try this next time we play. Just go straight right. I mean, although there's a enemy spawn apparently right here, but either way, you can just go straight right and start with a kite. Our kite was thought to be clockwise, so I still think that's a good choice. We can just immediately get into our kite, fight off all the hordes from the event that are spawning basically in the first wave, similar to Empire in Flames. So that what I'm walking right now is, by the way, is the kiting path we probably want to go for. In this small corner we can fight off a little bit. I mean, it's basically like Righteous Stand middle event. We just kite slowly, fight off the horde, kite slowly, fight off the horde, and as soon as there's not too much stuff going on, we can just safely jump over here to this ladder and continue to the cannonball, where in our case we will have a huntsman, which is gonna be doing the cannonball stuff, I'm assuming. The first cannonball takes about 5 seconds to load and shoot, the second one 10, the third one 15. At least that's what I found out. Might be a little bit off, I'm not sure about the second one for per se, but I think the first one's 5 definitely, the second one's 10 and 15. So it's going to be a little bit longer. So we just come up here, maybe have cleared off the rest of the horde, have a little bit more space. The huntsman can just start by getting the cannon in here and just shooting it for 5 seconds. Yeah, 5 seconds. Okay, that looks good. After that, there's gonna be a new horde, so we just continue straight all the way around to one small long scoop, and like as for players, just yeah, go all the way around and kill everything that spawns on us. And as soon as we did this, we can again get the cannonball and turn the cannon and do another shot. Let's see how long that is. 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds. Weird. Well, 7 or 8 seconds, I guess. Oh no, it wasn't even done. No, it wasn't done. It must have been like 10 seconds or something. I'm dumb. Okay, that's the third one then. It's gonna be like 15 seconds, and after that we will have to get the cannonball. The cannonball will be somewhere in the corner back there, but of course it's gonna be somewhere in our reach, so we will just walk past it when we kite, so someone can just grab it. So there's the cannonball missing. We just do another scoop around, get the cannonball, and come up here. And as soon as we did this, we can, yeah, we can pretty much go. There's only one last thing to note. When the cannon explodes, okay, fuck this cannon. There's gonna be a Storm Fiend spawn, right as soon as we pull out, so this guy's gonna be a little bit annoying. So I don't want to wipe by going out of this event. So maybe we just I don't know, either rush it out and not die, hopefully, or yeah, maybe stay in and finish off a little bit of the enemies. I don't say we kill the Storm Fiend, that's a little bit unnecessary, but like generally finish all the enemies that are in front and then just continue without pushing in everything that's coming from the front and us just dying. So yeah, that's the only thing really. Yeah, the portal doesn't open because we didn't finish the cannonball shit, but fuck that. Alright, yeah, that's it really. After that we can... Yeah, we finished it. The left side of the third trigger area is still a little bit of a question mark because that terrain generally is not very known for me. I mean, I just don't know it very well, and the triggers also seem a little bit weird. One thing to note still is that the patrol in the third trigger area for the right pathing, which is the one I showed you before, is also the exact same. The patrol's a little bit weird, but you can hold back in that hold spot that I suggested and that we looked at before, so that's also pretty easy and pretty safe, I think. So okay, let's maybe just test it.